What's up guys, Bionic here and welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I want to talk about Tormin the Cold. I've finally finished building him, or actually I've been using him for a while, but finally settled with his gear. If you guys have seen some of my previous level 20 dungeon builds videos, I do showcase him in there a little bit, but today I want to dedicate this video entirely to him. So this is going to be a build slash guide video on how I build Tormin, as I would like to call kind of like a budget build. Alright, because I am a 100% free-to-play player, which means I don't have a ton of gear, I don't have a ton of silver, I can't always test a bunch of different things, so this is how I've done it. Alright, so as I keep talking about him, I'm going to let this video play in the background. It's my level 20 spider build, which uses Tormin. Tormin is probably a arena champion and a faction war champion in the first place, but if done correctly, he can also be useful in some dungeons. This is not going to be necessarily a speed run. It's pretty decent, but it is using the combo of Tormin and Ultimate Gale. He's also on my Ice Golem build as well, because I need a little bit more survivability and I can reuse my Ultimate Gallic in there as well, which I have in a Toxic set. Anyway, all to say that Tormin in this case is acting as partially my tank, but also as a crowd controller. And that's probably his primary job. He's got a provoke, he's got a freeze, and the way I've built him with the a gear, which is a stun set, it adds even more CC. So that is how I found for him to be the most useful. And I know it's not necessarily, or perhaps not the best way to build him, but I found it to be effective for everything that I'm doing in the game right now. I'm also using him in the arena, so for me it was very important to have as much CC as possible. So as you can see in the background, it's really working wonders in controlling the spiders, or else my Razan would be taking most of the hits and probably die a little bit faster. So anyway, all to say that this is how I've done it, and then you guys will see this is roughly a 1 minute and so 1 minute and 20 seconds run. Alright, so he is pretty useful there. So now let's jump right into his gear. Okay, so gear wise, as I said, I have him in a stun set, and then I also have him in a 2-piece immortal set. A little while back I said this was not a good idea because the immortal set would trigger a heal, which would trigger a passive on another Tormin, so in the arena is probably not the best thing to do, but now that he's been nerfed, or that his passive works a little bit differently, it's not as much as an issue for now. So this is all I had lying around in terms of immortal set to have a decent defense percent gloves. It does have a lot of crit rate, but you also want to be careful if you're going to use Tormin in the spider dungeon. If he hits too hard, he's going to start killing those spiders, and then you're going to miss out on some of the HP burn ticks. So my Tormin is not built necessarily to hit really hard. He's just built to be tanky and then to have a decent amount of resistance as well as accuracy in order to be more effective in the arena. Okay, so defense percent chest as well. You'll see that I have him with a lot of speed, so speed boots with some accuracy, and then these are kind of like the best stun pieces I had lying around. They're not great, they're not you know, the best substats for him, but at least they're doing what I want them to do, which is to provide a good all-around build. Okay, and then here is the weapon, and he's got a defense percent ring, which is only a 4-star. That's all I had, unfortunately. He's got a defense percent amulet as well with high resistance, but it's lacking a lot of accuracy, and then an accuracy banner with some speed defense, so this is not too bad overall. So as for his total stats, we're looking at 41,000 HP. This maybe could be a little bit lower to boost the defense up a little bit more. He's got a decent amount of speed because I want him to go second in the arena the way that I'm using. I'll show my build not too long. And then he's got a decent amount of crit rate. But like I said, you don't want a ton here, and you also don't want a ton of crit damage if you're also going to use him in the spider dungeon. Now, if you want him to hit really hard as well, then, you know, feel free to boost these stats, but that's how I like to use him for now. Decent amount of resistance, a decent amount of accuracy, but I can tell you guys right now, if you want to play in Platinum Arena, this is going to need to be a lot higher. I know that Hell Hades at some point showed in a video, I think he had his Tormin in around like 300 or 400 resistance with almost 400 or 500 accuracy. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of how crazy you can get with these stats, but this is, I'd say, ultra end game, and I'm not there yet. Skill wise, I do not have any of them leveled. okay? I'm not convinced that I need to do so for now, but if I would increase his skills, I would definitely want to try and get this provoke up as high as possible in order to add more CC. You would probably want this passive to be maxed out in terms of chance as well, probably even the A1, so at that point you might as well want to, you know, do him entirely, okay? But the way that I've done it with the Masteries is to use this passive instead, because I do not have his skills leveled. If I would have his skills leveled though, I would probably do a very similar build in terms of Masteries, but I would take Unshakable instead, or Eagle Eye, okay, to try and boost that resistance and that accuracy even higher. So that's my build for now, nothing too crazy. Like I said, he's useful in the arena. Probably number 1 is where I use him right now. Okay, so he is part of this team. And then you can see obviously that I'm using him as CC or crowd control. Same thing with Harvest Jack, and I literally have just one nuker right now, which is my newly acquired Rotos, the Lost Groom. So battle-wise, I mean, it is working on the offensive. Obviously, you know, you're always going to target some of the easy fights, but defense wise it's also working out. Like this guy here is probably regretting his attempt a little bit, but I mean, it's not perfect once again, but the closer you are to Platinum Arena, the harder it becomes, and then it's all a question of resistance and accuracy. Alright, and now final thing to show you guys before I finish this video is going to be my Great Hall. Okay, so obviously this is going to affect his stats quite a bit. So I am in gold tier 4, so I am getting that 20% to HP, attack, and defense. And I've also maxed out the accuracy and the resistance, as well as the crit damage. That was mostly for my cold hearts, and recently also did the defense as well as HP. So obviously this is affecting his stats, but nonetheless, you can see that his gear is not that crazy. There's a lot of room for improvement, but overall, you have to factor this in if you're going to compare my Tormin with your Tormin. So guys, that's about it. A very quick one today, just a quick build or guide video. I know you can build him different ways. You could also try the Frost set, which is pretty efficient if you're getting that provoke to hit more often than not. You can go a completely different route and try to build him to be as hard hitting as possible. So again, I just wanted to show my build and do a quick guide on him. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, thank you so much, and I will catch you guys later.